Hello, this is Erin with the Joy in Pens and Paper, and I'm going to do another 10 swatches of my ink bottles. I'm still working through those. I'm going to do batches of 10 at a time. I have this Tomoe River paper that I ordered from Amazon. Admittedly, it is not the best, as there is some feathering for inks that typically don't feather, and while that's frustrating, I'm still getting an idea of the color. I have pulled out pink, blue, and gray because the bottles that I picked for today's swatching are in those colors, and then I also grabbed a blank one out because I'm going to start a black page. The brands of bottles that I will be swatching today are Pilot Iroshizuku, Ferris Wheel Press, and Colorverse. I don't have a huge amount of those, but I think because I have just a few of each, it makes sense to do that as a cluster of 10. So without further ado, starting with Pilot Iroshizuku, the first one is Konpeki. I purchased this bottle fairly early on in my fountain pen journey, and you can see there's still a good amount in here. And I was heavily influenced by Brian Goulet from Goulet Pens, obviously. Ooh, that is tight. Oh gosh. This is his favorite blue. I'm not going to be able to get this open. My goodness. Okay, there it is. You can see some little dried ink. Because I do not use this often. I'm not a very large blue user. I wish I used it more, but c'est la vie. But this is a pretty solid, middle of the road blue. And if I remember correctly, it has a little red sheen to it. But so far, the inks that I have swatched, I'm not getting a huge amount of sheen on this paper. I think I will have a little project for the next time I want to swatch all my inks of finding a better loose leaf paper that's not too expensive because I have such a limited purpose. The next one is Ajacai, and this can actually fall in the purple family as well. So I'm going to swatch it here and see how it looks, and then I might grab another blank paper to start a purple collection as well and swatch this in both. But this, if I remember correctly, was supposed to be kind of like a hydrangea type of color. And actually, this might be one where yeah, that's blue. Depending on what you have it swatched near, it may lean more towards one color family than the other. And I don't know if what I said made any sense at all, but what I was trying to say is sometimes if you have this, for example, this color, if you have it next to a blue, it may look purple because you have it next to a blue, but then when you put it next to a true purple, it might look blue. That's what I was really trying to point out. Yeah, now this is looking purple. What do I want to do? Do I want to start? I guess I might as well start a purple. So I'm just going to put this to the side. And let me take out this page. So pretty. I inked this ink up in my Zodiac Pen Co. Virgo model pen, and that has an extra fine nib, and it was so lovely to write with. I really enjoyed that pairing. Okay, next up, oops, a little bleed through. I'm gonna pull the gray page because the last Iroshizuku ink bottle that I have is Kirisami, and this ink was recently discontinued. I have about 2/3 of a bottle left, and these are good size bottles, about 50 mils, yeah. And despite that, I still considered picking up another bottle because this was my, between this and the Jacques Herbin Stormy Gray, these were the two inks that I primarily used the first couple of years of my fountain pen journey. And Noodler's Heart of Darkness, because that is a, what is the word? A permanent ink. And I'm blanking on the actual word, so apologies. I just replied to a comment on another video yesterday, and I had mislabeled one of my new pens. I think I called it Sandstone, and it's really sea sand. And I, my response back was, sometimes when I start filming, I'll have these blank moments, and then I internally panic because I know I'm having one of those moments, and I am not advanced, nor do I have an interest in learning all of the editing and things like that in order to fix my mistakes. So when I know I'm making a mistake, I have a pretty strong reaction to that. All right, I'm going to bring out the blue because next is Ferrisville Press Stroke of Midnight. I love this color right here, and I'm trying to think if I don't know if it was a sample that I purchased or a sample that was gifted to me, but I tried out this ink and I really loved it. And then it was very hard to get. It was sold out, and I thought, gosh, I missed my chance. And so the first time that I saw it available, I just went ahead and got a bottle of it. Stroke of Midnight. And as the name suggests, or as I interpret this name, I always think of this as a really nice ink for either December or January, just to end the year and start a new one. For me, that's the Stroke of Midnight reference. Okay, next is Madame Mulberry. And actually, now that I've started a purple page, I think that fits. So I'm going to start with the pink. I think this has a little pink lean to it, as well as a purple. And actually, I did have this page right here where I was just going to use it. Oh, see, to me that's gray. Let's let it dry for a moment because I might swatch it. We're going to come back to that. I want to let that dry so I can see exactly what category or categories I want to swatch it on. So we're just going to put that right here. And let me rinse. We'll do the next Ferris wheel press color. Sorry, it's a little all over the place, huh? All right, Roaring Patina Black, Patine Noir. Or in other words, Patine Noir. Oops, I should agitate this because it is a shimmer ink. And this was an ink that I purchased heavily influenced by YouTube a few years ago. This was highlighted on a lot of content creators' channels, and so I felt I should purchase it. Now this could also, if I remember correctly, has a little blue undertone to it. So it could be considered in the blue family, but it is very dark. Roaring Patina Black. And it's really in, here, let me show this. This is where I just wiped off. You can see still the residual. I've got to rinse this nib again. That's where I see that the blue comes in. But it's so dark that you really only see it when it gets wet. And then this next one is a collaboration between Ferris Wheel Press and Atlas Stationers, and it's called Atlas Iron Ore. I have 2 bottles of this, and every time I remind myself of that, I think, gosh, I should use this so much more. This is a very dark gray. Let me just, again, do that little there we go, pre-swatch. Yeah, I'll put it in the black. Atlas Iron Ore. Yeah, you can see as this dries down, especially when you compare it to Roaring Patina Black, it's a little bit on the grayer side. I like that Ferris Wheel Press has these little rubber pieces, but they are a little cumbersome at times. All right, I'm going to put that to the side to dry. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm going to put that to the side to dry. Let's look at this. So that is definitely a gray. Do I want it to be in purple or pink? You know what, let's put it in gray and see it on the bigger swatch. This is going right through the paper. This one is not a shimmer. Now this is a lovely color. I bought this a little impulsively. And the first time I inked this up was in I believe it was a fine pilot nib, and it just was too light, which has made me not gravitate towards using it a whole lot more. However, I do like this color. Interestingly, it's a slightly pinker version of Kirisami, but it is definitely to me popping a little bit more in the gray family. So we're gonna keep it there. Do I want to keep it there? Yeah. Just thinking of adding it to the purple page. All right, I'm bringing back out the black because Colorverse Shiny Black, and it has this really light purple, frosty lilac. I'm thinking about the Diamine Inkvent 2024 ink. It's a very frosty, light purple color. Again, this was influenced by a YouTuber. I do often reply to people in my comments and say, please get samples, don't buy bottles. I went ahead and bought a bottle of this, and I have inked it up once, I believe in a Kaweco. But this has an extreme amount of shimmer. There's that. All right, I've got two more to swatch for today, and both of them are going to be in the pink family. First one is Brunch Date. This is a kind of a peachy rosy pink, but I love it. I had a sample of this, and I inked it up in my Leonardo Angel Skin with a fine flex nib, and I fell in love with that combination. I think it's such a good pairing, and so I just went ahead and bought this bottle to go along with that. What matches my nails? And next up, this was a bottle that was gifted to me from Fountain Pen Insanity, and this is a kind of a brighter but not too saturated pink that has a little bit of a purple hint. It's really, really lovely pink. And this is called Anita. Now, even though I'm talking about it having a little purple hint, I am going to keep this in the pink family because I do think it is way more pink than purple. All right, let me just take a quick peek. Yeah, Ferris Wheel Press Madame Mulberry does belong in the gray, and I don't see that belonging in a different color category, so we're going to keep it as is. And we just have a little bit of drying that needs to occur for Anita in the interim. Let me grab my ink notebook journal. If you can hear that little background noise, my husband is grinding coffee for us for the week, and I'm very appreciative of that. I'm going to put that in last. All right. So we have orange, green. Okay. Blue, purple, gray, and black. And this is going to go in here. I'm just going to leave this notebook open for a bit because that is still drying. I had a comment from Manda B or Inksplat, and she was commenting that if the shimmer bothers me, I can always put something right here. I see them, they're just out of reach right now, but some hard plastic, not cute or aesthetic at all, dividers that I can put on here. And ultimately, the shimmer does not bother me. It's more a matter of if I end up putting a different page here, for example, a brown or something like that, and the shimmer transfers onto that page, and then I think something's a shimmer when it's really not, that's the reason why I would put the divider here. So I will likely be doing that for the next video, but there are my 10 inks for today. I'm growing my collection, so I have my pink, I have red bottles, red samples, orange bottles, green bottles, blue bottles, purple bottles, gray bottles, and black bottles. So I'm just going to keep chugging along 10 inks at a time, work my way through all of my bottles, and then start on samples. I'm separating them out in that way because it will admittedly or arguably take longer to work my way through a bottle than it will a sample. And so then as time goes on, if I need to re-swatch the sample pages because of a drastic shift in my collection, that's going to be a whole lot easier than doing the entire collection again. Because this going 10 bottles or 10 at a time is attainable and sustainable for me, but it will take a while. So thank you for watching. If you made it to the end, I greatly appreciate that, and I appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderfully productive week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.